Hey YouTube, it's Weird Paul. I'm pretty excited to be able to say that in 2 weeks from now, I'll have been vlogging for 29 years.
This is Paul.
Another thing I was doing 29 years ago was playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I used to be a DM. Used to be a damn good DM too.
Well, I really wasn't that good of a dungeon master. Somebody signed my yearbook, a really dinky kid who sucks at D&D. Okay, and here's the proof. It really does say, to a dinky kid who sucks at D&D. Just because I wasn't very good at D&D doesn't mean I didn't still have fun playing it. Unfortunately, I was known to give my characters names like Chevy Chase, James Bond, and Gary Coleman. That would be like if now you named your character Justin Bieber. But I was a DM and I did create my own dungeons. Let's take a look at a few of them. This is the only one I did with a hand-drawn cover, the Scroll of the Accursed Dungeon. We've got a horrible stick figure holding a scroll. As you can see, it says by Polly Pipax. It's my version of Gary Gygax, I guess. The Scroll of the Accursed Dungeon takes you into an evil magic user's tomb. Room number 1. The room has a white bearded man who is very tall and looks cold. This man is a frost giant. In search of the giant platinum rock out of which can be made 2 million platinum pieces. Here we have In Search of the Wand of Death Ray. In Search of the Wand of Death Ray actually has 2 rooms in it that have 2 dragon turtles in them each. In Search of the Ancient Gold Dragon. Conquest of the Evil Necromancer's Stronghold. Where did I come up with these names? The Caves of Leo Tuck. Starting with Sword Quest Elemental World, my dungeons started becoming more complex. They usually came with a map that you would hand to the players to look at. But a lot of these dungeons didn't make any sense, like Tomb of the Pharaoh's Curse. Like one room would have an owl bear in it, and then you'd go to the next room and there'd be goblins and kobolds sitting at a table having a meeting. The longest dungeon I ever put together was Towers of Petrovsky. Towers of Petrovsky had 5 separate maps. But my most ambitious work was the Tomb of Nardez. The Tomb of Nardez was 3 floors, and it was full of weird traps and puzzles. On the east wall is a picture of a man who appears to be in his mid-70s. Under the picture it says Ronald Reagan. Behind the picture in a hole in the wall is a casket with the skeleton of him in it. Keep in mind that when I wrote this dungeon, Reagan was still alive and maybe even still president. But then I just started getting lazy. I was making stuff like the Boy This Is Fun dungeon. I mean, look at this map. How lazy can you get? And look what's in this dungeon. A Ragadessa, a Cyclops, a Cryosphinx, an Etten, and a Dragon Turtle. I love those Dragon Turtles. We had a lot of fun with these when I was 12, but I can't imagine any adult gamers going through these crazy dungeons now. Maybe someday I'll take my lawful fighter Gary Coleman through one of these again. I'll be doing more vlogs soon, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the fun. Thanks, YouTube.